Well, cheers and happy New Year's. It's From Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, drinking in general. I'm Paxton. We have Clint, the mayonnaise marauder, Moses, and Travis. Jaudon on the ones and twos.
Hey, how are you?
Kelly's on vacay.
Kelly's on leave.
He's on paid leave. He's paid the same on leave as he is when he's here. Speaking of things that paid crappy for leave, jury duty.
Jury.
So I am old, 42 years old. I've been voting since I was 18, registered. That's when you get jury duty. And I have finally been selected. After mocking other people recently, a couple people, like my sister's had it a couple times, my brother-in-law too. I mean, it's been 24 years.
Is it random select?
Yeah, it's random select. And I kept, there was one point where I was like, is it like, am I just skirting through somehow, kind of magic that I don't get it?
Did they forget my name? Am I off the books?
Yeah, because I still vote and stuff. I'm like, well, let's see what happens here. But I had a guy who tried to scam me a few months ago and called and was like, I'm an officer so-and-so dealing with this, and you've missed jury duty. And I was like, I've lived in the same place for the long days. So, well, can you confirm your address? And I was like, I live in 31410. And he's like, okay, yeah, we got that. And I'm like, that's all I'm confirming here with you.
Did he have an Indian accent?
No, he sounded like he said his name was, Sergeant whatever. He sounded like a black guy. He sounded like there was a lot of stuff going on behind him that didn't sound like he was in a call center, like there was actually activity.
Yeah.
And I was like,
How did he sound?
How did he sound?
Like imitate it.
I don't know how to. I can't remember. I mean, it's been months.
Come on.
You're not going to do black scent?
Well, my black accent's not as good as my any other accents, so it's not going
to keep working on it.
Cuz what? You got jury duty there? That's the only black accent I can do.
It says right here you got jury duty.
Jury duty.
Talking about jewelry?
Jewelry duty. But anyways, I got it. I'm actually going on a cruise at the end of the month of January, and shout out to Rob, who's been getting this for free because he gambles too much. So when I get back that Monday, I'm juror number 88. Which is good, apparently, because that's day one. And the thing is, the nice thing about our industry is, if you get jury duty, you can probably still just go to work that day, because it's usually done by 3:30 or 4.
I would imagine.
You've never had it? Have you had it?
No. Well, maybe. I haven't.
You've never had it fulfill it? You've gotten it before?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So here's my thing then.
I'm a felon. They don't call me.
Yeah. So
sick flex.
Here's my thing. So I am not going to be the best juror anyways, but I don't want to do it. So what I'm going to do, my plan is I'm just going to chug 2 Red Bulls and go in there and talk like a fax machine. And they're going to want me gone immediately.
You got to chug 2 Red Bulls for that? Or
Probably 1 will be plenty. 2 might kill me. And then I'll swim home.
It's funny you mentioned jury duty because the other day, it was like some reality show where there was they stuck a couple of like low-level celebrities onto a jury. And it was about to get up to them, and the old lady before them, they go, "Ma'am, do you know anything about this case, or all the typical questions?" And she goes, "Listen, I'm 87 years old, and I'm just not into this sort of thing." And they go, "All right, ma'am, you're dismissed."
I mean, 87? I don't want her up there.
Well, they were like, "We're just glad that you made it out." But for you, how do you know that they're not like, "Ooh, this guy thinks fast, talks fast"? Maybe he's gonna.
Well, I think the first person to interview me is not going to be the person that's going to think about that.
Okay.
Whoever the entry level interviewer isn't going to be like that intuitive. I don't think. Now, if I talk to a lawyer, he might be like, okay, we kind of like this.
What
idea.
if they have you don't know the case, obviously, but what if they have a Keanu Reeves type person?
Oh, I'm in.
From Devil's Advocate, because that's what his specialty was.
Jurors. Juror selection.
He goes, that guy makes his own clothes. That guy's on meth. Let's get it.
Yeah, if the case has anything to do with drugs, they're gonna be like, this guy's probably on drugs. But like, yeah, right, maybe.
Call Keanu.
Yeah. So I think I'll probably be okay. I mean, that early on, if everybody talks to you, like, you'll be fine. But like, here's the thing: like I said though, with my job, I can still technically make it to work
Yeah.
almost every. And I'm already downtown, close to where I work, so it might be kind of good for content.
Yeah.
But I could mention, hey, I run a podcast,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I've got
Oh,
social
yeah.
presence.
But
part of me wants to kind of do it just to have the experience.
You know that there's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. There's some easy outs.
Yeah, you go as long as there's no blacks or Jews.
Yeah, exactly. Chinks or Chinese. You can really just run through the
Just
gambit.
name off as many.
But the thing is, they've got to be prepared for that and be like, sir.
Yeah.
Do a fake swastika tattoo on my arm. Like, just stretch it, have it right there. Kind of. Oh, what's up? Yeah, I'm in.
Remember how Larry David got out of having to have lunch with a bunch of people that he didn't want to have lunch with?
Oh,
He just wore a
yeah.
MAGA hat, but that wouldn't work here.
So good.
If you were in a MAGA hat at a jury duty, you might get picked immediately.
Because they might want the divisiveness of
That's
that.
what
You
saying,
probably
yeah.
would get voted for city council or mayor or something like that.
Yeah, it works with
You wear
quite
it
a
long
few
enough.
elected officials.
Well, I don't have to deal with that because I am a felon. And speaking of felonies, Travis's favorite quarterback,
Quit bragging. about the
Brett
felony,
Favre.
by the way.
Is that your favorite quarterback, Brett Favre?
I don't know. Why
I
do you say
texted him
that?
yesterday.
Am
I was like,
pro
"Hey,
Brett
your
Favre?
favorite? I got a topic about your favorite quarterback." He goes, "Who? Joe Montana?"
I said Joe Montana was a quarterback. Crazy asshole.
He was, in fact, a quarterback.
But it wouldn't let me spell Favre through my phone, so it said Fabra.
Fabra.
Yeah, so I was like, him typing Joe Montana. That probably took like 3 or 4 goes at it. Didn't it?
When you got to purposely misspell a word, your
I had
phone's
to
like,
pull
no.
over. Yeah.
See, the
Worth
Android
it.
phone was like, you know what? You want to misspell this? Because then it'll suggest whatever that nonsense
Dude,
word is.
I've spelled the word right before, and it's like, nah, you don't use ubiquitous.
yeah. Do you mean Ubisoft?
Yeah. So as talking about Brett Favre, Travis's favorite quarterback. If you guys remember, a couple years ago, he was embroiled in a little bit of a scandal.
The wiener.
Yeah, I'm not a pro Brett Favre guy, just to be very clear. Like,
No, not the wiener. It's where he was
he's just stole a bunch of money from the state for a
Can I have a
volleyball
pen?
complex.
what do you want, pen?
Sorry.
No big deal.
Yeah, he was taking a bunch of funds for not only the volleyball course, but to help build an indoor practice facility at Southern Miss so that he could get Deion Sanders' son possibly to go there.
It was like one of the things but all the money was coming from
Welfare.
From one of the poorest states in the country.
Well,
Yeah.
No, also, and it was allocated to welfare
Yeah, and they were
for
using it
like
that.
poor
And there were
families.
texts between
couldn't
like
just
him
use
and
his
the
Wrangler's
governor.
money.
Yeah.
He's an absolute greaseball.
He could have used his Wrangler money. Instead, he was like, no.
So
Oh, he
between
could
him
swing
and the
it in the front
governor,
yard, though.
and then there's a third party. This third party didn't have a lot of money, but he was the front man on like picking up certain charges. So he would embezzle
Classic.
money into his own fund, and then he was like, "You know what I could do? I just got this offer from a Nigerian princess. I'm going to triple or quadruple my money with her gold bars." So the third party in this whole thing, the governor Brett Favre and guy number 3, he got bamboozled for $500,000
The state's money.
of the state's money from a Nigerian princess.
So Mississippi's marrying a Nigerian princess, is what you're saying. The state is.
Again.
Nothing they would want less than that.
Yeah. That's
like-
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a wild turn.
Yeah.
in
It just, well,
what
it was like
already a
you
wild
thought the
story.
Brett Favre thing was over. It was this article I read the other day, and his name's like Papunakis or some shit, like Napa something.
It has to be that.
Not gonna
Not
work here.
gonna work here anymore. But so they go. He finally, after losing like, I don't know, 400 million. He
400,000.
I'm sorry, 400,000.
400,000. That's the whole state of Mississippi.
He sends his email thread to Brett Favre and the governor, and they're like, "Dude,
Even Brett Favre knew. All those concussions, and he can still tell
Dude, can I tell you guys the most shocking thing about Brett Favre after Googling
how
him?
small his wiener was.
His middle name is Lorenzo.
Brett Lorenzo Favre.
What the fuck?
Lorenzo."
How did that happen? How did that happen?
How in the Mississippi did that happen? Brett Lorenzo Favre. I didn't take him for Lorenzo.
Out of all the shocking
no.
things,
Not even
that
Jamal or
Brett Favre is
anything.
about.
Maybe like maybe like a Jebediah or something like that.
That was your football lead-in, was that?
I would
Yeah,
think
that's my
it would
football
just be
lead.
like,
Hey, I used hey,
Before we continue with football, let's talk about what only I am drinking. Here's the best cheers. That's right. That's the sound of wine glass and styrofoam clicking together.
did I do that?
No, I
No, so what I am drinking if Travis will join me over here and us on the podcast over here. Thank you. Yeah, we get off your phone, bro.
There it is.
I was looking at Brett
I am
Favre.
drinking a
I got trapped on
2018
Brett Favre.
Imbrou de Valac Priorat. So Paxton, obviously, big fan of Priorat.
Yeah.
Very popular wine in your life, right?
Big fan of pre-rot. Yes.
So it's a red blend. Usually has Grenache and Carmenere. This one's got Grenache, Syrah, Merlot, Carignan, and Cabernet.
Obviously.
But it's grown on the Mediterranean coast of Spain. In fact, if Travis will join me over here on this computer screen, we will
Hit number 4. Hit
Yeah,
number 4.
sorry.
There you go. Look at
So
that.
here's
Hell
Spain.
yeah.
That is all of Spain.
Pro move.
And right
Thanks.
here in the corner is Priorat right there. So because of the location of the wine, you can come back over me.
Hell yeah, we're back.
Yeah, exactly, baby. All right. So it's in a hot climate, and so you get a very low yield. So it's usually a very expensive wine. Shout out to my buddy. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I had a buddy who works for a distributor who hooked me up with this bottle of wine for a price that I should not have paid for it. So it is amazing. This is one of the wines I took over to the Wagyu Fest we had with the A5. But it is a great wine. It's a red blend. It's a good this time of year wine. Hot climate for a cold weather wine.
Yeah, Maynard from Tool grows grapes in a hot climate.
No, it's not that hot in that part of
Arizona?
In northern Arizona, no.
Oh, it's not?
It's mountainous.
Oh, I thought Arizona was just hot.
I don't think the north part's not as near as hot because Arizona's a
Never been
big
there.
state.
Never been.
Big state. Never
What
been.
year is the wine?
Desire Low. This is a 2018. It's in fact, if you want to join me over here,
Boom,
again-
baby.
Bam!
This
He
dude's
set
a
it
pro
up.
now.
This is the 2017, but the wine looks the goddamn same.
If you're just listening, Travis is learning the cameras now.
And so,
He's
and I
getting
just point
there.
out, 15.5% alcohol. That's some.
Oh, that's
Up there.
some high
It's
yield.
got leg. You can see all that on the glass there. You can
at
see
the
that
legs.
where the alcohol is the little like that clear part at the top. It's the alcohol content on the wine.
That's a Brett Favre leg
So-
right there, baby.
Speaking of football, Travis,
Lorenzo.
Mr. Lorenzo, Travis Jaudon,
Godzilla,
how do
that
you
quarterback.
feel about the way that bowl games have turned into a whole big nothing burger?
Well, it's the end of it, so you won't really have to deal with it after this. I don't think.
Well,
after this year.
I think we kind of touched on the fact that Florida State got screwed the most, then Georgia got screwed the most. So they're playing to each other in the Orange Bowl, brought to you by Screwed Over Bowl. Like the teams that got hosed the most.
Screwdriver ball?
It might as well be the Red Box Bowl, though.
'Cause
I mean,
nobody-
nobody gives a shit about
It's the
it.
thing. When I was younger, bowl games meant a lot. I mean, when Matt Stafford, I remember going to see the Capital One Bowl. It used to be a big bowl. There's New Year's Six Bowl.
Yes.
It was Matt Stafford, no Sean Moreno. We played Michigan State. I think I told the story about meeting a guy in line. I was wearing my shower curtain as a cape because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
And
Kirk Cousins, I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
was
that might have
Michigan
been
State
Kirk Cousins. Yeah, and they won the game. At the end of the game, no Sean's out there directing the band. It's a whole lot of fun. Stadium's packed, sold out. You go to a bowl game now, even if it's a New Year's Day bowl game. Nah, man.
Well,
I mean, if I lived a lot closer, if it was in Jacksonville, I would go to this game.
the pageantry
Would you
is-
really?
Yeah, for free.
It used to be
Okay.
because there was only one game for the
I would not
national.
be paying for a ticket to that game.
There was only one game for the national championship.
Right.
So any other bowl that was in like the top, like, 5 bowls, like, your all-state bowls and your whatever. It was like, okay, at least we made something. But now, since you've given everyone the chance to get in the top 4, or now I guess it's going to be the top 8,
12.
12?
One to 12.
Yeah, 12.
Was
Which
that
is
already
too
in the-
much.
was
12
that
is
al-
too much.
12's too much. Was that already in the books before this year?
Yes.
Yes.
12's too much.
Oh, so this year was just an
were like-
illustration.
they were
Which
like-
is why I think Florida State was left out, because there can be no backlash. There is no they're not setting precedent because that
Well,
era,
they broke precedent.
that
and now,
era is over. Though.
And now it's over, so they don't care.
It doesn't matter. So
Oh,
they could wash
you're-
their hands of it.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely
and
right.
Tex-
It's like,
and-
hey,
and
that was
Florida
the
State's got a
last-
big market, but Texas and Alabama are larger markets. And then you get the hate watchers. Now, here's the thing. I've watched a combined 1 hour of bowl games since they started on the 15th. And I just
You missed the Georgia Southern game.
yeah, I missed the Georgia Southern game by a whole lot.
Wouldn't say I missed it.
You and hundreds and hundreds of millions of others.
Yeah, me and everybody that helped scam Brett Favre.
Billions
And
of
so
others.
it just doesn't mean as much anymore. Like my buddy V is a big Florida State fan, but his team's missing their first, second, and third string quarterbacks. So a guy I work with, cousin, is going to be quarterbacking for them. And and the thing is, and no offense to you Florida State fans, if it was full strength Florida State versus full strength Georgia, with no one ever been injured all year, Georgia would mop the floor with them. But that's neither here nor there because we got 18 guys in the transfer portal.
Yeah, it would have been a cool matchup like
Yeah.
on Halloween or like in the middle of October.
It would have been a cool matchup if they had put Georgia and Florida State in the playoffs and Travis wasn't hurt.
Right, exactly.
Not this Travis, but
like Florida State, they're 20-point underdogs in this game, and Georgia's missing like half their roster.
40% of their starters. But
the game,
the depth of our team, because we've had such a long time of recruiting is so deep.
Could you argue that this is the least important game that Georgia has played in 3 years?
100%.
Yes, 100%.
In terms of what it means?
It means nothing for recruiting. It means nothing.
It means something for recruiting. It means something for recruiting.
Like, do you remember
But
Georgia
that doesn't
losing
mean-
to Texas? Like, does that really bother you still?
No, I don't care about it at all. I mean, remember, and what the thing is, when your team has been at the top, when you come down to this, you're like, I don't care what happens. But the other teams that are playing you, it's their Super Bowl.
No,
so this means more to Florida State
Not
casual
really,
fans.
because Florida State feels like they should have been in it as well.
Right. If they didn't, if they had lost the ACC championship game and it was Georgia Florida State. Sorry, Florida State. If it was Georgia versus Florida State, they would feel a lot more behind it, I think. But it just doesn't. It just feels like a bunch of nothing.
You know what it is that, and they take these teams to the bowl sites. Like, I know Georgia Southern went to where they played like 6 days before they played. And they put these kids in hotel. That used to be a cool thing.
And
to like
it's
stay
still
in
cool. It's still cool for the players.
Really want to be? I don't know that they
No,
want
the players
to be
you
in
get free
Montgomery
swag, free
for
stuff.
a week.
It's fun for the players because they're gonna have a good time. But
For like 2
all the
days.
Florida State players, Georgia players, are like we should have been in the big games, and so they just feel cheated. And
you're
it's not
ready
that
to
you
get
screwed
the
the fans.
season over. Like you're ready to try to win again.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
I just think that, especially coming from a very high level, when you know you're supposed to be playing for at least a shot at the national championship,
Yeah.
that's going to take the legs off of you a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But back in the day when Georgia, we would lose the SEC championship and be like, oh, we still got the Sugar Bowl. That was huge for us.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't won a national championship at that point.
And losing was a big deal. Like remember when they lost to West Virginia?
Yeah.
I remember that was like a gut punch.
Yeah.
But you know how big it was beating the crap out of Hawaii and killing that guy?
Oh,
RIP, I feel
dude,
like
Cole
he's dead,
Brennan
so.
is
Cole Brennan.
actually dead.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, well, he got sacked.
He got killed that guy,
He
and then
got
killed
sacked
again.
or hit 14 times in a manner that you should not. After the third one, because the thing is, like the line of Georgia was like an average 130 pounds heavier than the opposite lines on Hawaii, and so it wasn't. And everyone was like, "Oh, Hawaii should be in this game." It's like, what are you talking about?
Nah,
that's the year we lost to Bama on one play.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like there's not a.
And you would think Hawaii would have like the big Polynesian recruiting with the big boys on
No,
the
they're
line,
all,
but they
they're all
don't.
in Utah and Southern Cal. But see, like you said about the Texas game, that the year we played Texas a couple of years ago, to Winky, who's a big Texas fan, it was this Super Bowl. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna kill you guys." I'm like, "Okay,
Cool.
Remember when Uga and Bevo like almost got in a
yeah." When the Bulldog and the steer almost got into it.
I was at the Savannah Morning News at the time, and I had to call. I was like assigned the story the next day to call PETA and call the Seiler
Really?
Call
You
the
had to call PETA?
Yeah,
Good
and
God,
then
I
call
would've
the
wished on
Seiler
anybody.
family that owns and call them for comment, and like it was just about the
Does
rights
anyone
of.
want to call Peter today? Get Travis to do it.
Listen,
I mean,
nobody
were you an
is-
intern?
Listen, they were buttoned up. They had their statement ready.
Well,
Period.
shout out Uga and the Seiler family.
Yeah.
I was like, couldn't you argue the dog has a pretty decent life? But couldn't you argue it's a pretty famous dog that's treated pretty well?
See, when they had the plastic water bowl, I was like, "What are we doing here?"
They were like, it's not about that.
Well,
He lays on a bag of ice every game.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, hey, shout out to Uga, anyways, little guy.
No
shout
doubt.
out.
Wait, so you like the dogs, obviously.
Yeah, dogs like murder them. It was sucks. My buddy V and I made
you don't
plans.
care.
Here's how much I don't care. On Christmas Day, my buddy V was like, "What are you doing New Year's Eve?" I'm like, "You know what? No one's asked me. I haven't thought about it because I don't. Normally, I would be getting hyped for the bowl game, but I don't care."
It's a Sunday,
So he
too.
goes, "Hey, our Cowboys are playing on Saturday." But the Cowboys are like, "Oh yeah, let's get up." I said, "Let's get up Saturday night. Let's go to Tybee. Let's get drunk, and we'll just spend New Year's Eve hungover and recovering because I got to cook food on New Year's Day anyway." So I'm like, this will be perfect. I'll just be hungover on New Year's Eve, stay at the house, maybe go to an oyster restaurant, nothing big, and so we make these plans. And then the next day, I go, "Oh yeah, at 4:00 that day also is the Georgia versus Florida State game," and I'm like, "Hey, that game's before that. I'm gonna do something with like my buddy Rob, maybe a few other Georgia fans. You don't have to come." He goes, "That game's over at halftime. Who cares?"
So you don't think the Georgia players might think the same thing? Like, we don't care
I think we're
about
going to
this
play a
game?
lot. It's going to be a lot of first and second year players playing. He's going to play around a bunch. It's going to. We're going to have a send off to Brock. Probably. I think Brock's going to suit up and play one play. I think Ladd's going to suit up and play. I think a lot of our guys going are going
That
to
makes you
play.
want to throw up, dude.
We'll just do one play to get the send off from the fans.
Oh, come on. They've had their, like,
No, they want this. Look, Brock, mother fucking Bowers, I got it, is...
Yeah, but they didn't win. They
But he deserves a send-off. It doesn't matter if they won or lost. Brock deserves he's the greatest tight end to ever come out of the University of Georgia and maybe the best ever out of college.
Yeah, they're going to probably retire his jersey or build a statue or do something. But, like, they can't come out and do that against... I mean, Florida State, I think they're definitely going to cover 20 points.
They're on a four-string quarterback. I don't know. I mean, they're missing a lot of players.
Shout out Florida State.
Shout out Florida State. So, anyways, shout out to Third World Russ, because you know what Third World Russ saw? He saw the midget that I saw a few weeks ago riding the bike down the highway right by my house. But she was wearing a Santa outfit. Okay, look here.
How is it the same midget if he's in Costa Rica or whatever?
He was home. He was here. So but he said he was riding. He said it was almost in the same exact place.
They can travel.
He saw her. Right? Yeah, they can teleport. He saw her. He saw her riding down the road in a bicycle in a Santa outfit. Bruh, the sequel to Bad Santa 2 is going to be amazing with her in it.
There's already the sequel to Bad Santa 2, The Thickening.
Bad Santa 3. Boy, I said it with such confidence that I didn't know where I was
The
going.
sequel to Bad Santa 2. Isn't that called a threequel?
So I want to give a shout out to Celia. We miss you. Hope you're doing well up there in North Carolina.
In wine country.
Yeah. And we also want to give a shout out to a girl whose name I'm not going to tell. And I'm not going to even try to.
I won't tell your name.
I hit the right button.
I'm very, very happy for you. Because I have someone who's purchased a couple ducks from me. And we had a little misunderstanding around Thanksgiving because this person wanted to get a duck at Christmas, not Thanksgiving. And I was like, oh, well, I'll keep it. And she's like, no, I want this duck. But she showed up. She came to my house. It's Thanksgiving Day. My house is kind of dark. She comes in, she has sunglasses on. She goes, shit, I got to take these off. And takes them off. And she's got like the remnants of a black eye. And I was like, oh, and before I could say anything, her fiance goes, oh, it wasn't me. I'm like, I didn't think it was you. He goes, I'm practicing for later.
Oh, it is Thanksgiving.
It is Thanksgiving, so they're about to go to the family.
He had that queued up, dude.
So, they had their story set up. Like they were. I was the first like line of defense for them to be like, he's like, no, it was the dog, and this happened. And I'm like,
We're gonna try it on Clint first.
Yeah.
See, see
I was like, okay, here's the thing. I didn't think for a second this dude hit this girl. We'll just call her Caitlin. That's not her name.
Kate.
Even though, oh man, I found out about the fact that an actual girl named Caitlin picked up a duck for me. Not her either. So Caitlin with a K. So Christmas Eve comes, and I gave the thing. I cooked a bunch of ducks again, and I give the offer Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So Christmas Eve, I have one duck going out. I get a text from this same person at 1:30. I'll be there in half an hour to pick up the duck, and I went, here's a screenshot of you telling me you wanted it at 2 o'clock on Christmas Day, and she's like, oh crap, I messed that up. And I was like, well, hope you don't get another
Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve. So she's 24 and a half hours early. And I was like, normally I'd have another duck that I might be able to figure something out for you here. But I was like, I can't do anything about this. She's like, damn it, I screwed this up. I guess I'll be there tomorrow. I was like, well, hope you don't get another black eye for messing this up too.
So what happened with the duck on Thanksgiving? Was it the same thing? She tried to pick it up a day late?
I thought she wanted it for Thanksgiving. She wanted it for Christmas. She just reserved it the week before Thanksgiving. So I just put her down for Thanksgiving. And I was like, hey, look, you don't have to come get it. I'll keep it. She goes, no, that's my duck. Give me that damn duck.
That's my duck.
Classic duck.
So shout out to her. You know who you are for buying 2 ducks from Clint's Duck Mart, and all the other people that picked up ducks. Brian Stafford, owner of Britannia Pub on Wilmington Island, got one to take to Vidalia with his wife, who I didn't know was from Vidalia. I was like, let me go talk to her about Vidalia real quick.
There's only 4 families there. So
yeah, she's from Lyons, actually, which is the town next door. So the big booming metropolis of Lyons.
Well, you don't know this, and we're recording this before New Year's, obviously. But
I mean, it's not New Year's Day. We're bright and peppy and happy, like we recorded the last episode right on Christmas Day.
So Sunday is New Year's Eve, and we're doing Susudio Sunday for the first time.
Who is?
Damn, man, I might have to come out.
I got a text the other night.
Why didn't you tell me this already?
I watched it. You just got here. I just found out last night.
This might have changed everything for me.
What is that?
All right, so back in the day, when the first 6 years I worked at Pooh's, we would do Susudio Sunday every Sunday, which was 80s jam night party. And it was popular. So we did it for me, my roommate, my old roommate, the Nick.
Oh, I was about to say.
The Reverend Rick Rouse. He and I did it probably for 5 years, maybe. something like that. And it was like Sunday was the only.
It was
place
you. It was you and Vinny.
me and Vinny, and then me
Every
and Nick.
week?
Yeah, it was
Every week.
It was him.
Studio Sunday.
It was. And it was. Thing is, at first it was popping. It started off with Susu Studio, and then
It
went
always
to
starts with Studio.
and there was always Paxton would make a new playlist. The first couple of years when he wasn't, just burn out on it.
Oh, I could see him putting in hours on that playlist too.
But the thing
yeah.
is, it always had some of the
Just
classics
working it.
that the fans love.
Yeah.
Rains Down in Africa.
Yeah.
There was
Great
always a few in
diversity.
there.
Sunglasses at night. We
Sunglasses
had
at night.
T-shirts for it and all that.
Oh, we had
shit.
T-shirts for it. We
Airbrush.
We were literally bringing sunglasses to the bar
just to wear for that one song.
Just to wear for that one song.
For that one cue.
yeah, it's so good.
And we would open up and be like, everyone, it's just a Studio Sunday. No margaritas, no Vegas bombs, no Bloody Marys.
Exactly, and it would definitely.
So yeah,
pop
we're
off.
gonna. We just did that last Sunday.
You did it last Sunday?
As you're hearing this recording.
We did it last Sunday.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
yeah. I might have to make it. God damn, you threw a su monkey wrench into my plans here.
Well, Eric texted me, Eric, the owner of Huckapoos, and he was like, "Hey, what's it gonna take for you to do Studio Sunday because New Year's Eve's on
Wait,
Sunday?"
does this put you on the inside bar too?
No. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, you want to DJ it? I was like, well, I'm working outside, which is kind of like a
That's a $300-$400
yeah,
night.
that's
Hopefully,
a big night. And he was like,
This is a Studio Sunday that will go from 1 year to another year.
Well, it's-
Historic.
you can only do it every 7 years or 6 years. So you
Yeah, leap year.
jumped over your lead here. Are you going to DJ or are you going to bartend?
I'm gonna DJ
no, on the ones and twos.
I sat there and thought
All
about
right,
it, and I
you
was
need
like,
to tip jar it.
I'm tip jarring the shit out of it, brother.
And requests.
Or like a guitar
Requests.
case.
Whatever
like
you
a
got to do to
guitar
make money,
case.
buddy.
Just an empty
All right,
guitar case.
I'll take
with no
requests and not
guitar.
play them.
Maybe me and V will come up there on that night instead because then that'll you'll get a little more love that way.
And this computer right here is the one with the entire playlist on it right now. So I was like, I'm gonna have to transfer that over to something a little more modern.
you're not taking that, are you? What
No, I'm not taking it out.
Sorry, I don't trust anyone for you to take our work computer up there.
Yeah,
If
you're not,
someone's drunk
taking
shithead.
you're not taking my work computer.
Yeah. Well, that you know what? I really like that. So now that you're happy now, I also have some other happy news for you. Guess who got out of prison today? Your girl, Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard got out of prison
today. Merry Christmas.
Gypsy, I'm a sliding them DMs.
Yeah, I knew because I thought you were going to come here lamenting about work. You perked up right when the camera came on, thankfully. Because Paxton, when we first got here, he was like, "Hey,
Today's been a rough day.
And I come in.
It was so hard not to tell him too. Like I just knew Cupid's arrow was about to hit him.
We keep all our topics a secret from each other, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pre-gamed on the way out here. So here's the thing.
We are no way honest
This
with
is
each
out
other.
today. Today. Man, I added the notes today. I was like, oh, yeah.
Now
I thought
what,
you were going to have a
Pax?
moment where you were in kind of bad mood. I was going to be like, let me drop you some goddamn good shit.
Oh, dude, when the lights come on, baby, I'm here.
Well, here's the thing. This week, if you're in the industry, you know, the week between Christmas and New Year's is bananas busy as shit. Anywhere, every bar, people are out. A lot of people are off work. It's crazy.
Gift cards.
People are spending gift cards, which please don't spend those at restaurants and bars. They don't like that.
No way.
Grocery store. Those go to grocery stores.
Oh,
Groceries
shit.
and gas. Because, look, every time you see one, you could get to the point where you run it and you're only going to be able to get a 20% tip. Even if they write 100% tip in there, the gift card's now cut off at 80% of value if ran in an establishment that serves, it's a tipping service.
Okay, so use the gift card and then tip cash.
You have to tip cash on a gift
Tip
card,
cash.
I think, because
Please
You're
tip
cool
cash.
with that.
whenever
Please
I get
tip cash.
Okay, all right, cool.
whenever I get
that's
gift
a PSA.
cards, whenever I get gift cards, it asks for the tip first because it won't adjust it afterwards.
Because otherwise, when the first gift card, we talked about
Yeah.
this before, when gift cards first came out, restaurants were getting screwed left and right. Servers were getting screwed. People would come in with a $100 gift card.
Oh, it was the
And
best.
just
It was
like
the Wild
happened to
West.
one of
It
our
was the
servers
Wild West.
on last Thursday or Friday, someone came in with 5 gift cards. Nope. But the first one they ran, they hit the tip. They tipped like 30%. Denied. Next one, same thing. Next one, same thing. Finally pulls out her debit card. Like the people are they can tell something shady's going on. And the manager had to get involved. This is like a 10-minute ordeal. Takes her own debit card, pays for the bill, tips 0. Because they were stolen gift cards. So they were just trying to get over it. So every time I see one and it's a questionable person, I'm like, oh, we can't take these.
Oh yeah,
I'll just lie because I don't want to get screwed. I also don't want to deal with the damn
that's
hassle.
how Brett Favre's buddy got screwed.
I've
He was
told-
sending
Oh,
gift
come
cards.
on, leave Brett Favre out.
I've told a few people, I'm like, look, it usually only runs this for 80% of the value, and they're like, oh well, we just want to use them. Like, well, I recommend using them at the grocery store because everyone's going to the goddamn grocery store. Just
but
gift
if
card
somebody
there,
gives you-
Amazon, all that stuff. There's places you can use it where it's not a tipping culture, so you can just avoid it then. But like we said, this week is slam busy. I had a Tuesday. Think it was rainy Tuesday. Still had a great night. Last night, I texted one of my buddies after work and was like, I feel like I'm more physically exhausted than I've ever been on a Friday or Saturday night just because we're open an extra hour. People are in a good mood, but like we're so freaking busy.
I'm telling you,
our window fills. So we have a computer screen, the touch screen where all the orders come in, and usually when it gets to about 3/4 full, they stop seating the door so the kitchen doesn't get overwhelmed. This was a screen drag and a half across, but busy. And once that happens, the kitchen starts getting mad, so they actually slow down. And some servers don't understand. Don't like. Well, they're going to be slow. I'm going to pound them. No. Put your apps in. Apps at the table. Fire the order. You don't need to pound them. It's not going to make anything go faster. You know what comes out quick. Try to sell that. That's what I usually do. But like, don't do that. So like, I got home last night, and I come home. I play with the dog. I make a cocktail, or maybe have a glass of wine. I just kind of, I'm happy home. I just sat down on the couch, phone down, no TV on, and just stared at the ceiling for like 10 minutes. I mean, I played with the dog first, obviously.
You did the old Paxton
smoked the bowl a
Eugene
couple
meditation.
times. Finally stretched ice, went on with my night. But I was just like, here's the thing: when you have, I don't drink every night after work, but 9 out of 10. But that night, that tequila tasted real expensive and real good. And I was like, emergency. And that weed was like the most high class. I mean, everything at once. And I was like, oh. And the thing is, once you get that second drink in, I'm like, oh, I feel good now. I'm gonna watch some TV. So it
about
was
to watch that Juvenile Tiny Desk concert.
No, I wasn't feeling that good. I wasn't that good. I've been watching. We'll break with this. So Marvel didn't have a lot of stuff coming next year, but they're doing a show right now. Nope, shut the hell up! I get 5 minutes of this.
No, 5?
Where's his little bulldog for sports? Does he get one for Marvel?
I should have something that plays the Marvel theme song. We need a Marvel theme song drop, like the quick version, because we're doing.
No, I got it.
Yeah, the most important media conglomerate on the planet. No one likes it. So, Disney kicking ass. What they're doing this year, you don't know about this, and you might. They're doing an advent calendar, basically, of a show. An advent calendar, for those that don't know, is something you do every day. And you get like a gift or something fun out there, a chocolate or whatever. But what they're doing is they're dropping a new episode of a show every day for 9 days straight. Starting on the 22nd, going to the 30th. I think it's a cool concept. It's a fun idea. It's like Saturday morning cartoon or something. Like, I'm excited to watch it. And so I was able to catch up on that last night. But it's a cool project.
Well,
it's called What If? Episode 8. What if Paxton would watch Marvel stuff?
The YouTube channel Sorted Food from the UK did 24 videos in 24 days for their advent calendar. So
I think it's an
cool
interesting concept to do
if
it.
you can do it.
And there's, the thing is, normally this time of year I'd be bowl game. But they've lost their luster this
now
year.
No one cares. They've
one
lost
cares.
a bit
And
of their
I can't
luster.
win a bowl game bet to save my life. I mean,
That's the dumbest shit to bet on. What are you doing?
I'm getting crucified.
It's not. There's no guarantee of anybody playing or anything happening. Like, bowl games are a dumb thing to bet
Shut
on.
up. You don't know me.
Actually, before we get off, talking about betting games. So Walter Matthau, right?
Grumpy old men.
Grumpy Old Men. So
That's the only movie I can name.
Kevin Pollak was on the. Kevin Pollak was his son, so he went to his funeral, and so he meets Walter Matthau for the first time on the set, and he goes, "Hey," Kevin Pollak's trying to small talk Walter Matthau. He goes, "Hey, good script, right?" He goes, "Hey kid, the script sucks. I owe my bookie $2 million." So then, cut to 15 years later, he goes to his funeral, and Walter Matthau's picks for the following Sunday was on the back of the program.
That is
good.
dope.
That's an all-time name, too.
That is. You gotta have something cool for your funeral, and that's a cool thing for your funeral.
We'll see you on the second half.
I have to pee.
The script sucks. All right, welcome back to From Behind the Barcast. New Year edition.
New Year edition. It's a new year.
So
for you.
I don't know if this is just a Southern thing, but Hoppin' John.
Hoppin' John. And Hoppin' John's is most.
Hoppin' John's?
Well, Hoppin' John would be one single thing. It's like grit.
But I thought it was just called Hoppin' John.
I've always called it Hoppin' John's, but I think it's Hoppin' John is the dish.
It's like Kroger's.
I think it's like,
Oh.
I don't know. I think it's Hoppin' John. Yeah, you're right. It's Hoppin' John.
I think it's Hoppin' John.
And
And
for those of you that aren't from the South, this is exactly what Hoppin' John looks like. So, This is pretty close to what I see it as.
It's the
All right,
first
so I
time
can't
I'm
see the
seeing
screens, but I'd rather not because
Okay.
I want to give my interpretation of it.
Okay, what is your Hoppin' John?
So when people bring up Hoppin' John to Huckapoo's or wherever that I've seen, it's black-eyed peas with something green, either spinach or collard greens,
Okay.
and then it's either tomato or no tomato. But that's it. Either 2 or 3 ingredients,
You're forgetting what I think is one of the most important ingredients,
which is
ham.
Ham. All right, you cook collard greens with ham no matter what.
Whoa.
So my mama, who is famously
I've never heard of
a
this.
brown,
You never heard of
famously a
I've
brown
never
man.
heard of
And you're from the South.
Correct.
Man, that joke, both of you guys, I thought it was great. My mother, famously a brown man, is from the South. She's multiple generations of the South. And her Hoppin' Johns, black-eyed peas, ham, green onions, over rice. Some people mix it in with the rice,
Yeah.
and the collard greens separately. Also, bacon, ham,
I was gonna say
turkey.
it looked like it was like trifled off. Like
Yeah, that's just this picture. That's not my mom's Hoppin' Johns.
okay, I thought
let
this
me
was
ask.
an original.
That's the cook's country.
So
picture.
black-eyed peas are a staple of New Year's Day food to me because my mom always made it. So we always had, and this is kind of cornbread for gold, greens for good fortune, pork, ham, whatever for a sign of prosperity, and then black-eyed peas was a sign of wealth. So what my mama did was put a dime in the black-eyed peas, and whoever got the dime was going to have good luck that year. So when we would eat as group, whoever was at the homeless shelter, we'd all eat at that. What was the house nickname? If you are new to this podcast, not an actual homeless shelter, whoever got the dime was going to have the good luck for the year. But there's a thing you got to be like, hey, everybody, FYI,
There's a dime somewhere.
there's a dime in here somewhere.
Yeah,
so don't be.
there's so many problematic.
It's like
things
eating
with
wild duck. You don't want to eat the pellets. Any kind of wild game.
I thought you were going to say whoever gets the dime gets free esophagus surgery.
You can swallow a dime, no problem.
that. Gets 2 nickels.
Shout out to Charlotte who swallowed a penny when she was like 6 and had to strain her poop for a while because I convinced her to eat change. Happy New Year, Charlotte.
I saw a cartoon one time. It
What
was
a
just
guy.
one panel of a cartoon, like on a Sunday Funny sort of thing.
Yeah, like the Far Side kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was a subway, or it looked like a subway, but it was obviously the human intestinal tract. And there's a penny and a kernel of corn sitting next to each other, and the penny looks over at the kernel of corn and
How long
goes,
you been here?
"You're no better than me.
How long you been here?
All right.
You're no better than me."
We're off to a great start. 2024.
So I bring this up at work in the last couple of weeks because something I'll cook and sell people on New Year's Day is Hoppin' Johns, and I brought this up at work and it was like, the person I brought it up to, who's from New Jersey, shout out to my manager Jersey Mike, who loves being called Jersey Mike, hates it because Jersey Mike, like, it's not even Jersey, that's not our subs. I was like, this guy's never gotten mad before, and I was like, hey, man,
Oh, he gets
calm down,
real
little fella.
But when you called him Jersey
Yeah,
Mike,
yeah. Didn't like that at all. So
now he's Jersey Mike forever.
So now
course.
Yeah, he's done.
And I was like, you never should have done that.
don't ever tell anyone what upsets you, especially me.
I worked with a girl named Andrea, and last night I was like, I want to call her Dr. Drea. Is that cool with y'all? And like everybody thought it was funny. She goes, that's great. I'm like, there it goes. Also,
I'm
Dr.
soft.
Dre, any kind of Dr. Dre reference, that's a compliment, never an insult.
Yeah, it's tough
So I
to
bring
make
up the
that
dime
happen.
thing, and he goes, no. So I'm like, oh. So I turn to a guy who's from like Indiana, and I'm like, hey, you know about this? He goes, I'm like, so now it's a mission. I got to find
Someone
a white
else who put a
person,
dime.
a white person who knows what this is.
Well,
Because
good luck.
Mostly, no. It took 4 people, and I'm like, he goes, get back to work. Like I'm literally like, I'm still working. He doesn't, and he's newer at work. He doesn't realize Clint can do 17 different things at once. I don't know if I said this on the podcast or on the Patreon. He's the one that was like, hey man, I need you to just kind of calm down, take it easy with this table, and just kind of talk slow, go relax. When you're not in a hurry here, I went, oh no, buddy, this is me.
This is me all.
This is me all day long. I always have this much energy. He goes, what do you mean? I'm like, this is not caffeine. This is nothing. This is Clint. I wake up like this. It's actually worse when I wake up, but I go to bed like this. And he was like, and my buddy Brian was with me, and I go, that's Brian. Brian goes, yeah, man, never turns off. He goes, and this guy, like, it was like the camera zoomed in on him, and he faded back to himself, like, how? Like,
can you live like this?
He didn't talk for minutes, and I was like, and later on in working there, he goes, you just try to relax. I'm like, you don't think if I could turn this off, I would?
Yeah. You think I wouldn't be this way?
You would got to choose this life, bro. I didn't choose the dumbass hyperactivity life. It just chose me.
I know
He's
you
the
can't-
all natural 1.5
Oh yeah.
When anyone
1.25
says I have
speed,
ADHD, I'm like, you have ADD, and they're like, I have ADHD. I'm like, Look, motherfucker.
I'm the H.
Okay.
My H is all the H. I got the capital H. I'm in 4K, buddy.
Oh yeah.
But Hoppin' John's, Travis didn't know what it was. It's, to me, black eyed peas.
We still haven't
ham,
settled on how to
onion.
pronounce it. We're still.
Hoppin' John.
Hoppin' John. I'm going to John's it forever. I don't give a shit.
We're just looking out for you.
Yeah.
We
But-
want it, when you bring it to the people, it needs to be.
I don't bring it. They come and get it.
Hey.
My John don't hop nowhere.
Make that T-shirt.
My John don't hop.
But what other New Year's Day foods do you think of?
Literally, the only New Year's Day food I think of is whatever's being presented at the bowl game that I'm watching.
Okay, so the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Shout out to the 3 messages I got yesterday during the Duke's Mayo Bowl. I was too busy at work, but
I thought about you.
You thought about me? It's when you think about Dukes, you think about the Marauder. I've
Well,
Something they were like,
game.
when I think about a good memory of old friends, I think about this person. When I think about mayonnaise, it's Clint.
Here's the thing: when they're
Well, like
giving
a protector
the
of
winning
the brand.
coach, the winning was at West Virginia that won. They're giving the coach at the end. They lay out a tarp, and you get a mayo bath instead of the Gatorade. It's the Mayo Raid.
But
College football.
College football.
no, but I'm saying I've taken a jar of Dukes and turned it over. They have to loosen it. They got to cut it with.
No,
something.
they
It hurts way less than the bowl of oranges they pour on you after you win the orange.
Orange Bowl is getting thundered with oranges.
Dudes are getting concussions left and right.
But,
Oranges
but the
falling
thing is,
from the
he's
sky.
doing this. He's got his head down and his chin tucked, like he's scared of it. I'm like, bro, lean your head back, open your mouth. It's the dentist. Take that shit in your mouth. It's a mayonnaise waterfall, and you're welcome.
That's like the end of Ghostbusters 1 when the Stay Fluff Marshmallow Man
Stay
explodes.
Puft, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I love that scene though. It's such a good. It's such a stupid ass idea to blow up a giant marshmallow with fake ghost lasers.
That's what I think about too. Is somewhere somebody sat and thought about that and created that.
and he pitched the idea.
Yeah, he
And I don't
came
even
to
think
work the
Stay
next
Puft is
day.
a real company. I think they made that up too.
Yeah,
They were
just
like,
for that.
Wait till you hear this one, guys.
I think it is now.
that's Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah,
it
That's
those
is.
are
gotta
like
be
the
it, yeah.
craziest minds that could come up with that stuff.
So
Working on New Year's, we talked about it since I'm doing Susudio, or I did Susudio Sunday.
went great.
It was great.
did.
It was-
Last
it was
night you
amazing.
killed it.
Oh man, killed it.
And look at us, bright and shiny, no hangover.
Yeah, definitely not tired.
Another New Year's Day food, Pepto Bismol.
Is January 1st
Pepsi
like
Easy.
the national bartenders? Like, you don't want to work the morning of January 1st as a service.
No, because
industry
you've got
person.
on Tybee Island. You have the polar plunge on New Year's Day morning. So you get people that come out. These psychopaths jump in the water. I've been one, and get the polar plunge in Savannah though is in Tybee is. you don't impress me. Do a polar plunge in Nantucket.
I mean, there's been some years where it's been really cold here.
And the thing is, it's not that much colder there. It's the getting out.
And
part.
why did they do it? The polar plunge? Is it for charity?
Yeah, they raise money for charities.
I don't know.
People were dressed up in
what
a cool
a-
costume. Remember Fro one year was a polar bear with a plunger on his head? Great idea, Fro. Shout out to you for that.
The old roommate that I was talking about that used to do Susudio Sunday with me, him, Wiley Workman, and forget who the other person was.
Taylor Todd.
Brett
They made front page of the Savannah Morning News with their costumes for.
What
polar
were those
plunge.
costumes?
Slow news day. Slow news day.
A very slow news day. It was a polar bear. And
Okay, yeah. My uncle, who's not a big Star Wars guy, shout out to him for all his grandkids. He Darth Vadered, and they did various other characters of Star Wars one
For
year.
the polar plunge?
And he got his old ass in that water. And he's not a. You remember Uncle Russ? He's not a big man. He's a tall, thin man. And he came out that water. Just you could hear his knees clacking away like olive oil across the beach.
I don't
Also-
get
Because
it.
once you
I
get in
just
the
don't
water,
get it.
once you get in the water, it's fine. You sit there in the water, your neck out of it like this, and you're fine. But when you get out, depending on the New Year's Day, it is brisk.
Well, now people polar bear plunge at their houses. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm
Shout-
getting in the ice bath.
Shout out to Caitlin, not the one from the first half. Caitlin, the owner of Bubba Gumbo's. Shout out to Bubba Gumbo's.
Oh, yeah,
and
she's
where
got
my
her
Bubba
own ice
Gumbo's-
bath at home, yeah.
Yeah, she's got her own. She's got the one where your neck's also out.
Get your own name.
Depending
Caitlin.
on the night of the week. Now, there's some restaurants where, all hands on deck for New Year's Eve. They have like a big celebration, whatever. But at a place like where I work, whoever the staff is the staff. Unless it's like some of the older ladies or gentlemen that are like, hey, I can't work New Year's. It's too much.
Yeah, and y'all bring in some extra help too.
Yeah, I mean, we have like,
Yeah, like Jack will come help out and something like that.
we'll have like bar backs and stuff. But like when it comes to like service staff,
Well, that's a
it's-
big money day, so you don't want to lose your day.
Right, yeah.
So that came up in my job this week. Okay, so we were closed on Monday for Christmas. This place closes on Christmas and Thanksgiving only.
Whoa.
Another clue for you here. And the scheduling manager goes, look, everyone's going to lose a shift this week. And I went, no. If you work Mondays, you lose the day. I work on Thursdays. So I know every year I'm losing, and I had to work at home on Thanksgiving anyways, but I would lose that shift. I don't get an extra makeup shift for that. But she's like, well, I got to make it up people that are done. So like, I got shit around and got 2 nights and 1 day shift, but my day shift's tomorrow morning. And we talked about it when I got here. You're like, tomorrow morning's going to be busy. I'm like, you know what? Busy. And I'm done at the end. And that tomorrow night, there's going to be some drunk people. And the day will be probably not as lucrative, but close enough. And I'm done.
What night are you talking about?
And I'm off
Tomorrow?
until Tuesday. Huh?
You're talking about Friday.
Yeah, when New Year's Eve rolls on a Sunday, the weekend is the party.
Everything changes. That's what I mean. I think it's the worst day.
No, it's the best
week.
day for art industry because you're going to make money all weekend.
So when you look at the calendar, like, what time of year are you looking at the calendar to see what day of the week New Year's Eve is? Like Thanksgiving?
No, I didn't look because
See, I don't have to work anyway. So
if it falls on that day, it falls on that day for me.
I'm with him
on a day that it
it's your
works.
day. See, I had the foresight when I got my job. I said, look, here's days I cannot work for every year. And they were like, okay. Now I didn't push the envelope with St. Patrick's Day. So when it falls, it falls. But I work Tuesday through Friday. But I said, look, I can't work Christmas Eve, no matter what day it falls on. New Year's Eve or day, no matter what it falls on. And Thanksgiving Eve, unless I really, really have to, just because I got to prep ducks. It just takes way too much time, especially when you're drinking with Poe.
Thanksgiving Eve is a low-key top night to go out.
Look, it's a money night, too. I want to be out working that night, but I got to stay home and do my job. But, I don't cook a whole lot on New Year's Day sometimes. But my University of Georgia Bulldogs will be often playing around those 2 days, so I will never have to work a Georgia game unless it would be one of those 2 days. So thank God I just have ironed that out so I don't have to work. But some people, like you said, want to work.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it's a money day.
Yeah.
And like restaurant like where I work, they're not staying up until midnight. They're closing at 11, regardless of the day.
So is this the best day of the New Year's Eve is the best day of the year?
No,
Financially?
Financially,
What
not
do you think is the
necessarily.
best?
Oh, yeah, no, it's
Any day this week besides New Year's Eve.
sometimes it just depends. Like I've had my best nights have been on a random summer night.
See, his varies is going to be in the warmer weather times.
Yeah.
Mine,
July 4th.
this
weekend.
No. The most busiest times are least lucrative times
when
in
you can roll
certain-
people out.
Yeah.
When you have
Okay, that's what I'm
turnaround.
thinking, yeah.
Like football games can screw him. People don't want to go anywhere.
Like
Yeah.
the restaurant or the business makes
St.
a
Patrick's
lot.
Day.
Business might-
But
St.
the
Patrick's Day.
individual server and bartender doesn't necessarily make.
St. Pat's out here on Tybee is a good day because the bars aren't as packed as they are in town, but they're busy as shit.
Yeah.
So then you get people moving and leaving. But when you're downtown, everybody's at capacity.
I've come to
You
Tybee
can't-
on a St. Patrick's Day night.
I do day until
It's pretty
about
fun.
4 o'clock and then hit the Tybee. But you know who doesn't care what day of week it is or the time of year it is? They'll just ruin your day no matter what.
Oh shit! It's the Karen
Are you going first?
of the week.
I don't have one.
Oh,
It's
go
the
there.
Karen of the week.
Oh shit! My Karen of the week is Clint because I was trying to tell a story about working on New Year's, but that got
Well,
Axed.
So.
I hope that I can bring you some joy then.
Well, I mean, you already did with
As Clint with a
Gypsy Rose
K.
Blanchard.
There you go. So we're even now. So at work the last week or so, we got one of those old creepy old men in there. I'm working next to a girl. She's an attractive, cute little girl. She's younger. She's probably about 33. This guy's about 60 to 70 years old. His plugs Marlboro Reds. He's so old. And if you're on a scale of 1 to 10ing this man, he's a 1. Maybe a 1.5.
Come on.
Because he had a wallet still. And he goes, "Hey, baby girl." She's not his customer. She's at the table next to him. He goes, "Hey, baby girl. You could crack a walnut with your ass cheeks right there." And his wife goes, "Don't mind him. He's terrible." His wife is at the table.
Yeah.
He's a 1.
And he's a 1.
He's a 1, but he says you can
And
crack
he-
a walnut with
don't
it.
mind
And
him,
he
he's the
keeps on, and she comes over about the third time and tells me what's going on. I'm like, so where I work, I can't do anything about this at all. I have no power to do anything about this. It's like a circa. I could have been like, get the hell out of here. Now, at Huckapoo's, you and I could have Steiner Brothers this guy off the top rope, off the porch if we wanted to, which made me really miss being there. I was like, I
I
could
will crack your walnut, brother.
I would have cracked his back like a walnut with a suplex. But he just kept going. Finally, the managers are like, they're newer, so they're kind of like trepidatious about making him leave. And I'm like, make him leave. Like, hey, sorry, no dessert for you. You guys got to go. You can't. You're sexually harassing this girl.
Yeah, it's okay to tell someone to leave if they say, "Hey, you look like you could crack a walnut with your ass cheeks."
And jokes on her or on him. We tried 3 times. She could not do it. But he just kept. And so finally, I walked in. He had all the looks of like sweaty, and it's cold out, and he's just sweating and staring. But she can't leave her section. She has to make money still. So now she's having to figure out which place to stand. So he can't A, look at her ass, but B, she can't bend over her. He looks down her shirt.
Or to make eye contact at all.
Anything.
Yeah.
So he's just creepily leering at her. And I went up there and like walked between him and her and was like, how's everything going, y'all? And he's like, good. And I'm like,
oh, he's dodging around you?
He's too fat to move that well, but he's kind of trying to lean, but he didn't want to lean too far. He'll fall out of the chair.
You're setting a screen?
Yeah, I'm setting the screen. I was like, you have to clear that table. You got to bend over.
I'll set this pic for
But
you,
look,
baby.
She always, a lot of the girls do. They leave their shirt not, they're not dropped down to their navel, but they show a little skin.
A little something.
No, she's got the priest collar on at this point. She's not a shy girl, but it's the guy is just straight ruining her day. Yeah. And it sucks because you can't, get him with a suplex or anything. I was just like, this is terrible.
Because I watch dudes at the bar and I'm like, hey man, you can subtly look at anyone, but when someone walks by and you crane your neck
every
single
You
time
lick
they
your
go
lips.
by,
There's nothing more dangerous than a one alone, or even with his significant other, out at a public establishment.
Well, and
they
like
have
he's
nothing
like,
to lose. They have
he's that one.
He's
The
like
one
licking
has
his
nothing
lips
to
and shit
lose.
too. He's like, I his fork. Like it's everything. But you
He
don't
slurps the oyster.
So you don't have a Karen or a Darren. Well, maybe you made me your Karen or Darren. Cool. Let's have me as a Darren. All right. I got a table the other night. They got 3 kids, 2 adults, 3 kids. I walk up. I'm busy, but I'm like, hey guys, how we doing? See, you're outnumbered here. Let's get some drinks in you real quick. He goes, I have to run to the bathroom now that the kids are finally settled. And I'm like, he's like, I want a beer. He walks off, and she goes, well, she gets her a drink. I put it in immediately. I'm like,
So you were commenting on they had a bunch of kids.
Yeah, so-
and they had all ran away.
And so the kids are at the table. They're like 1, 2, and 3. They're little kids. But they finally had the kid situated where he could go take a piss.
Yeah.
So I go out of my way to go to the bathroom. The man goes, oh, sir, I know you need a drink. What kind of beer do you want? I tell him what kind of draft beers we got while he's taking a piss. This is above and beyond. They get the beer, get her drink.
Maybe a bit far.
No, he was very appreciative of this.
You say Favre?
Brett Favre.
A bit far.
I didn't see his wiener, but it
I
could
see
have
the
been.
color of your urine, sir. It looks like a Mick Ultra colored. Would you like one?
So I know it's going to be a process with the kids and everything, so I'm trying to kind of button down the rest of my section before I go back to this table. We don't have a food runner, so I'm having to run food. So it takes me about 10 minutes post setting the drinks down to get back to the table. As I'm heading to them, I hear the hostess tell the manager, table whatever wants to talk to you. And I'm like, shit. So he gets there before me. And he goes, the manager who had set them down goes, what's going on? He goes, we're not having a good time. Our server seems preoccupied with other stuff. He said he had to go set some stuff down, maybe set a table before he came to us.
What?
And I'm like, so I'm ignoring, I can hear them, but I'm just not looking at them. So I see the manager walk away. He gives me a signal. I'm like, I know I'm coming. I said, hey, let me tell you. He goes, nope, you let me talk first. He starts berating me. The manager does. And I'm like, hey, you're taking this guy's side you met 10 minutes ago, and you've known me for like 6 months. Hear me out first. I don't get a lot of complaints. I mean, maybe 3 in your whole time you've been here. And I told him, he goes, well, you got to get the kids' drinks first. That's why the guy's mad, because you didn't get their kids' drinks. I'm like, they're 1, 2, and 3. They're going to throw them on the floor. Also, they brought whatever, the kids have some kind of liquid with the parents. The parents have a whole bunch of stuff with them.
If you're 1, 2, or 3 years old, the parents are bringing you sippy cups of fucking something.
And I'm going to bring them cups with a lid and stuff, but like it's going to be a minute. And they're going to want something weird like milk. Then I got to go to the back and get it. And let me give you a real quick pro tip right here, okay? Do not order your freaking children milk at a restaurant. That milk has probably been left out for too long. It's a risky place to get milk for your kid.
Yeah.
Regardless of how nice the place is. In fact, if it's so nice you think it's going to be safe, you shouldn't be there with your kids anyways.
Don't take your kids out of the house.
Yeah. Leave your kids in the car.
We don't want to deal with
Crack
it.
the window. It's Christmas.
We don't want to see them.
Nobody wants to hear.
Show me a photo. That's it.
Cheers to Travis. So I go, look, man.
He just went up a point for the score at the end of the.
He's a 1.5.
This guy's got, the manager's got 2 kids, so he's on the side of the kids. He goes, get the kids' drinks first. I'm like, first off, alcohol costs money. Kids' drinks are free. We're not doing that here, buddy. So I go, look, just give them the bartender. Their section's right next to this one. Just give it to them. It'll be fine. She's got 2 stepchildren and is trying to get pregnant right now. She had her husband reverse a vasectomy. Props to him. She is pretty hot and like 20 years younger than him, so good on him. So she's actively about the kid life. It goes great for them. So great that I will undare in myself and say that they got a $120 tip on $140 from these people because he knew they were going to tell me how big that tip was.
Sizable.
And here's the thing. Come here, buddy. Here's the thing. If me being a dick can get you more money at work, I'll quit my job right now. We'll split the profits. We could make a living off of this because I'm real good.
You will bear
at
that
being a
burden.
dick.
Isn't that? I know there's a job like that already. It's like
There's got to be.
there's guys that get you to break up with their girlfriend for them.
Podcasting.
I'm the guy. Oh, I'm your man. You need a dick to hire? I'm your guy. Both metaphorically.
Private dick.
Yeah.
But hey, they were like, "Thank you so much." And the thing is, the manager goes, "Well, tell Clint." And the bartender, who's a seasoned bartender, he goes, "Yeah, man, yeah, he knows." Yeah. So I said, "I was like, yeah, they got a fat tip." And I was like, "Yeah." Here's the thing, though. I could have filleted him, the wife, not the kids, given the kids 6 cups of milk I went and got from the goddamn
No,
goat
never
myself,
the
like P
kids.
Diddy, and they wouldn't have given me a close to that kind of tip.
Yeah.
So only by me being like I was, I mean, I wasn't trying to offend them. I do not have a tendency to like kids, but it wasn't because it was just I knew it was going to be a whole ass thing.
Yeah.
And if they hadn't complained, I was heading there, and they would have gotten their food probably 30 minutes faster than they did, because then the girl has to go through the whole process of all the apologies and getting the kids. It's now slowing down their service.
But you said she's hot.
She's an attractive woman, yeah.
Okay.
But she's also I'm now out of a table. I'm now losing a complete table for the rest of the night, pretty much, which is. It's fine. They got paid. The bartender's like, "I thought I owe you money." I was like, "You don't owe me shit but a story, and I got it. So thank you." But I mean,
Yeah, look, here's the thing.
what do you think? What do you think? If I went perfect service, their bill's 140.
You wouldn't have gotten that much of a tip. No,
I'm giving 20%.
Obviously not. The thing is, so I've gotten plenty of verbal tips before because you go after it hard and you're like, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna take my time and really make sure this table gets everything they need,
Right.
even though, I know I'm not going to be paid for it necessarily, but I just want to skip the trouble." But then,
I got him.
But then there are tables where you're like, "No, I'm not going to do that for you. I'm too busy, this and that." And the more you're straight with them, the better they respond. Don't say, because the moment you start bullshitting them and you're like, "Oh, we got this dude. We own him now. He's apologizing already. He's giving us platitudes already. Now we got this guy."
Hey, well, see, I had to assume you've gotten some of the same tips that my bartenders got from a server. We'll just call him Tragic fucking Mike. I'll write it down. I don't care, because he has screwed up tables that you've had to take over.
Yes.
And I would imagine 50% of the time that goes really well for you. But a lot of the time people go, "Doesn't matter who fixed this. Screw the whole place."
There's no fixing this.
Yeah.
We're still not tipping anything.
Decided.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Mike.
It's already been
So
decided.
don't be a Mike. Be a Clint.
I think I'm the same way. My tip is almost decided. Like, you could treat me like dirt, and there's a floor. Like, I'm not gonna.
Okay, well, no. All right,
There's
so
a way to be cold but good. The thing is, if someone's kind of cold with me, but everything happens,
everything's there, and they're not
yeah,
sitting there wasting their time
that's
with me.
Paxton's entire career, pretty much.
Yeah.
What,
But-
5 seconds and out?
Well,
Well, no,
hey,
Sex.
Typically I spend time with the wrong people. Like
I know your friends. Yeah,
No doubt.
I think this guy's cool. Yeah, I'll give him a little extra attention. No, never.
We're sitting right here, dude.
I mean, you really do. You really do a good job of that. But it's part of your job is definitely you. I'm just trying to get a little shot of Travis over there working his ass off. Look at him.
I'm gonna get a shot. I'm
Got
zooming
a
in
coffee.
on Clint here.
He brought a
I
giant.
got Clint on the. I just figured out how to put him on the screen. Here.
He got a giant bag he brought with him just in case. Thanks, Trev. We kid and all, but I just want to know what I would have gotten. I'm thinking 20%, 22% if I'd done the best. But if I'd gone, sometimes I'll go, "Hey, I'll just tell someone there's a mess over here. I got to clean up real quick before I get to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you drinks real quick and I'll come back." But the manager not having your back at work pisses me the F off.
Especially because you're not new.
I'm older. I'm triple his time there.
Did
And
he get mad at you in front of the table?
No. He's very professional, and he's the guy that has the opposite energy of me. He's very chill. He's very calm. So he and
So most people.
Oh,
Yeah,
is he a slow talker?
He's a slow talker. No, he is.
no.
He is polar opposite of me. He can move, but not a lot.
Oh, so you were dying.
Yeah, for a Jersey guy, it's kind of odd that he's this.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
He's this
Jersey
toned down.
Mike.
Jersey Mike.
And you would think
It's kinda
Jersey
weird.
Mike would get along with
walking
me.
here.
Would get along with me well, but Hoppin' John Jersey Mike just really isn't. That's the title. Isn't really getting it down. But he's the other night. What they're saying, well, you just need to calm down. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not ever going to calm down. The manager, the GM hired me because of my energy and people love this. I get all kinds of good 5-star reviews about, oh, Clint had great energy. Fun. I had 3 tables and I shake my hand. Thank you. Amazing service. I said, some people just don't get along with some people. I said, I don't want a low energy server, so I'm not going to get along with them. That's not my fault or their fault. It's just not everything's a good match. I'm sorry, I don't have big boobs to match up with everybody. You know, when it just that's not
Good point about boobs.
Yes, boobs help a lot.
The story I was going to tell before
doubt.
was 5 or 6 years ago, I worked on a New Year's Eve inside at Huckapoo's, but I had an ulcer, so I couldn't party. I couldn't drink or anything.
You sobered New Year's Eve.
Not sober. So they had given me
Got it.
like Dilaudid, something.
Not
gnarly.
Dilaudid. Dilaudid's like
They gave me
morphine.
Dilaudid when I got there.
Oh, to the hospital. That's right. Yeah.
But whatever I had,
And your life went downhill ever since then.
whatever I had, I took 2 of them for that night because I knew I wasn't going to be doing anything else.
Did you eat before you took these pills?
Yeah, I do.
Did you stretch?
Stretched out, push-ups.
Yeah.
Little,
Clint knows.
little YouTube content for you guys.
I had the best night. Just being high on opiates all night.
Oh yeah.
Smoking a couple cigarettes.
Wonder why people like opiates.
Shit, yeah.
Dude, actually, after that night, I was like, oh, God, now I know why people, like, go down.
Now I get Dallas Buyers Club. Now I
I
understand.
haven't
it.
watched
See,
it.
the thing is, I don't. He saw the clips. The thing is, I'm allergic to morphine. I'm deadly. If I'm around either one of you, something goes down and there's an ambulance coming, let them know morphine, instant death. So let's not give them that. But
okay.
I got Dilaudid and was like, nope, don't like it. I'm one of the few. I just don't like the opiate
Oh,
feel.
man, I fucking loved it. So I'm having the best night. And, everything, like, I'd already been taking it because of the ulcer or whatever. So taking double.
So you weren't new into this feeling.
No. I'd been taking them. I went to the hospital on Christmas Eve. So this was New
okay.
Year.
So you had already had the.
I was already eating them, but I just doubled up the dose
'Cause you
to
need to,
work.
yeah.
As one does.
Having the best night at work. All of a sudden, I hear this dude out of the corner of my ear. He's like, that guy just doesn't like me, does he? And I was like, he's got to be talking about me because it's just
it's you.
Stephanie and I back here. I was like,
Out of the
hey,
corner of your ear.
I was like, hey, what's up, dude? He goes, I was just mentioning to her that you just don't seem to like me. I was like, well, what made you
So
feel?
good.
What made you feel like that? He goes, well, I asked for this and you gave me that. I was like, oh well, I'm sorry I made a mistake, but I'm having pretty much the best night of my life right now.
Sorry about your luck, man.
That's what I said to Jersey Mike. I said, Mike, I'm in the best mood today. For the first time ever at work, I took a 25 milligram edible before work. I was like, you know what? I'm going to need this tonight.
Blast off.
That's how
And-
strong my resting bitch
No, I
face
hit-
is.
I
Even
hit
if I'm in the
75
best
on the leg.
mood, people are like, hey, what was wrong today? Nothing. I was having the best
That's
That's
what
how
I
you know
said.
he likes you, dude.
That's what I said.
That means he's smiling.
Yeah.
I was like, no wonder
likes
your
you.
wife and kids aren't talking to you right now. You're
Yeah.
trying to get some out of the fucking bartender.
Oh, he's flirting with you. That's how Paxton flirts.
Yeah, it is. South African flirts and hates you. though. He's got a point, though. Sometimes you just don't
But now
know.
he'll die for you. He
But
will.
everyone's not supposed to get along with everyone. It's like not everyone can
you don't have
jive
to
with
get along with everyone. I can't read it. What time are we at?
We're there.
Okay. Speaking of New
we're-
Year's
we're-
Eve,
yeah, we're almost.
we're gonna do a Patreon because we got Travis here, and we owe you guys a nice Patreon just for the Patreon exclusive New Year's Eve stories, fun ones. One about how one of us met a girl he went to elementary school at a gas station and didn't show up to see his friends later because of that.
How would you guys grade me?
Let's finish out with
All right, let's finish up.
the. If you want to read it, you want to read what I wrote over here, or do you want me to take care of this problem?
Oh, you
It's
take
terrible.
care of it.
My handwriting's like my speech. It's a mess.
I just
F
ruined my
count.
grade. I should have said
Travis, 0 Fs. Paxton, 1. That is a record for 2023. one F for Paxton.
Maturity
Clint
growth.
with triple the Fs of Paxton. Also a 2023 record, I believe.
Gross.
We're breaking records left and right. All right, so
On a scale of
out of 1 to 5 Favres,
on a scale of Eric Culberson to Kelly, how well did you do? Is that what we're going to go with
okay,
here?
all right. So Eric Culberson,
Eric Culberson
is 1, Kelly is 10.
Kelly
I
is 10.
immediately have
I'm gonna
the
give him
entire
a
scale.
I'm gonna
I got
give
it.
him a 6.5.
Ooh, I wrote down 8.
I'll take
Really?
it.
That's
But
generous.
the football talk didn't kill me. And he didn't make a
I
weird
was
face
gonna
when I
say
brought up Marvel
Patreon.
for
Let's talk
one
special
whole
teams.
minute. 1 minute of Marvel. And Paxton's like, everything's ruined.
All right, the reason you got 6.5 from you is because during the first half, I would look over and be like, he ain't looking at them cameras. He's looking at
Oh, you know what?
FTF.
I forgot the phone. 777. He didn't have his phone out, and I was like, I had to bring him back to the bed. I was like, get off the phone. If
At
you look
some
your phone
point,
for
you
too
guys
long-
just have to understand the Celtics tipped off against the 2-22 Pistons.
So if you're
And
not
basketball plays 82 games, so who cares?
somebody has to watch it.
we're about to do a Patreon. So if you're not subscribed to Patreon, it's patreon.com/from on the Barcast. If you're not familiar with Travis Jaudon's podcast, it's Hot Grits Podcast. It's on all the podcast platforms.
Platforms.
It's been a long day.
Also,
I gave you a 6.3.
Thanks. I didn't tell Paxton this, but you know what? We're going to Patreon at least 3 more weeks in January. It's slow for both of us at work, so we don't have to be anywhere Tuesdays,
down.
really. I think we would have dumped heavy on the Patreon in January. And everyone spicier than the other. When we do the hot tub one, we may get out of the hot tub for the Patreon.
What?
Well, guys, we'll see you next year.
Next year.
Hope you have a great 2024. We love you.
69 minutes.
69 minutes. Yes.
I wish I had known that.